And I'd started doing voiceovers for Yoruba films. All those, a blend of, Sunday Dagboru, kini òun ṣẹlẹ̀ ládùúgbò wọn, wọ́n sọ pé kini kan báyìí in the mind of man. Man is about to change the game. Featuring Odunlade Adekola, Toyin Aimakoga. Grab your copy now. Mo ti ṣe ìyẹn to 1 million.
That was after music videos.
While I was doing music videos, I was doing voiceovers.
Ẹ kú dédé àsìkò yìí ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa Àgbàlẹ́tù TV náà rèé àlejò mi lénìí everything art ni wọ́n tá bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa kí n bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti broadcasting, voice over, movie production, musician, director, music video director, you know, we editor wà lára ẹ̀, everything entertainment òun ni wọ́n kó sínú. And the first time tí mo máa gbọ́ wọn was in 2007 ní orí Fuji FM ní ìrọ̀lẹ́ Sunday kan wọ́n ṣe ètò kan tí wọ́n pè ní àrọ́bá. Ohun àrọ́bá yẹn ẹ kọ́kọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe máa ń sọ ní orí àrọ́bá lórí rédíò lọ́dún yẹn ẹ jẹ́ n gbọ́.
Ohun Dotun Taylor náà ni a fi ń sọ lórí àrọ́bá.
Àwọn èdè tẹ́ máa fi ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ àrọ́bá.
Ẹ̀yin o, mo jí ìgìní mo rìn ìgìní wọ́jà mo rà àwọn àgbààgbà mẹ́ta tí ó ń tilé Ifẹ̀ bọ̀. Mo ní bóun náà ṣe ń wí wọ́n ní a ò ní fòdìdí lólódì, bá a bá fòdìdí lólódì náà lódì á tún á bàjẹ́. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá rí mi kẹ́ ẹ yọ̀ mọ́ mi ò, Dotun Taylor ló kọ́ tèmi. Ọ̀bọ̀ ọ̀bá là bókè, kòkòkò là bókúta, irọ́ ọkú ni wọ́n pa á mọ̀dá, kò sí ohun tí ó ṣe yín o. May the good Lord God bless you with all the desires of your heart.
Mo fẹ́ sọ náà pé bí Yorùbá yín ṣe dáa tó bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni èdè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì yín náà ló gbé wọn tó.
Ọmọ Yorùbá ni mí. Inú mi á máa dùn tí bá ní kí n máa fi Yorùbá sọ̀rọ̀. Ó ṣeé ṣe kí n sọ Yorùbá látàárọ̀ dálẹ̀ kí n sì má fèdè èbó kan sí.
Ẹ má jà ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀.
But I feel comfortable code switching. Nítorí ilé ayé tá a wà yìí, bá a bá fẹ́ káwọn èèyàn gbọ́ wa properly, then we must continue to speak a little bit of English, a little bit of Yoruba.
Communication is
That's
key.
even the brand of Dotun Taylor, though.
Yeah.
Very.
All right. Olóyè Dotun Taylor òun ni àlejò mi. Mo wá kí wọ́n bí báyìí orílẹ̀-èdè America ni wọ́n ń gbé anyway. Olóyè Dotun Taylor, ibi tí a máa sọ̀rọ̀ sí pọ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n ibi kan náà la fẹ́ fi orí gbogbo ẹ̀ sọ wípé Dotun Taylor ti ṣe púpọ̀ nínú entertainment ní Nàìjíríà, ẹ tún continue ẹ tẹ̀síwájú ní orílẹ̀-èdè America níbi tí ẹ ti di ọmọ onílùú léni. Olóyè nìyẹn, báwo lẹ ṣe jẹ́ sí Ọọ̀ni Ifẹ̀? Ẹ̀yin ni cultural ambassador sí Ọọ̀ni Ọ̀jájá kábíyèsí Adéyẹyẹ ní ìtàn Ògúnwùsì. Báwo lẹ ṣe mọ kábíyèsí kí n ti bẹ̀rẹ̀?
Lákọ̀ọ́kọ́, I must really commend you, Dele Adeyanju, and the entire Àgbàlẹ́tù crew. You're doing so wonderfully well indeed.
Thank you.
And káàkiri gbogbo àgbáyé náà ti ń wò yín. Kódà mo fẹ́ sọ pé I think your fan bases might be 50-50, more in diaspora and here. Torí I will tell you that I may have seen all your episodes.
Okay.
Right? So you're doing very well, please. I give kudus.
tó fi wá láti ọ̀dọ̀ irú ẹ̀yin sọ́dọ̀ wa.
You're doing very well.
Whiskey.
Then to the question, Olóyè Ọ̀ọ̀ni ni mi, yes, of course, I represent Aṣojú Àṣà Oòduà fún Ọ̀ọ̀ni Adéyẹyè Ògúnwùsì in the diaspora, and I live in Los Angeles, Hollywood. Àmọ́ báwo ni mo ṣe mọ̀ Ọ̀ọ̀ni? Ọlọ́run á jẹ́ ká ṣiṣẹ́ wa débi tí a máa wà níwájú lọ́balọ́ba léèyàn pàtàkì. And that's where you are going to, I believe so. Mo ẹnu bí ẹnu iṣẹ́ mi náà ni mo ti pàdé wọn. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ èèyàn bá ṣe jọ ń ṣe tí bàbá dẹ̀ ti mú mi lọ́rẹ̀ẹ́. Wọ́n rò pé bóyá àjọ dàgbà àbí bóyá àjọ lọ school. Some had asked me that question. Ṣùgbọ́n báyìí ni destiny ti jẹ́ kí n kọ́kọ́ pàdé wọn rí kan tó jọba.
Okay.
Àmọ́ mi ò rí wọn bá sọ̀rọ̀. On his elder brother's 50th birthday, nígbà náà kí n tó relocate to America, I used to own a company called Impromptu Vanity. Impromptu Vanity, what we do there is, mo mọ̀ pé àwọn èèyàn fẹ́ fúnyàn ní gift, and you shouldn't just hand it to your mother. O ṣe cake fún wọn, má fọwọ́ ara ẹgbẹ́ fún wọn. So what Impromptu Vanity was doing is, we will investigate eléré wo lèèyàn kan like kí la lè ṣe láti excite her on that birthday. So ọ̀rọ̀ mọ́tò fún ìyá ẹni, má kàn lọ fọwọ́ ara ẹ fún wọn kọ́kọ́rọ́, jẹ́ kí alúwẹ̀ mú kọ́kọ́rọ́ yẹn lọ fún ìyá kó jó kó bá wọn ya photo kó present in a special way. I think that's more like the kind of parara that they do these days when they go on people's birthdays and deliver cake in a grand style. So we were doing that then, some years back, about 10, 12 years ago. Ọ̀rẹ́ mi kan wá sọ pé wọ́n ta obìnrin lòun, ṣùgbọ́n there's this builder tó ń build estates on the island, and ọjẹ́ kò ń supply wọn ní interlocks. So she made a lot of money, and she felt she should show gratitude. So on his 50th birthday, ó wá ní kí Impromptu Vanity lọ gbé kéèkì fún wọn. Àwa find out ta ni onítọ̀hún fẹ́ràn nínú àwọn eléré, wọ́n wá ní Alúwẹ̀. So I contacted Alúwẹ̀. My friend paid me some money, and we paid Alúwẹ̀ to come with me. So ká lọ gbé cake fún onítọ̀hún. So that person has to be Ẹ̀gbọ́n Túnjí Ògúnwùsì. That's Ẹ̀gbọ́n today's Ọ̀ọ̀ni. Yes. So nígbà tá a débẹ̀, mo gbóngbẹ̀ngbẹ̀ jáde right about now. It's your birthday. Congratulations. Using a megaphone with a microphone from inside the car. So I deliver fún wa, ṣe pomp and pageantry. Ọjọ́ yẹn jẹ́ ọjọ́ tán fún àwọn èèyàn tán ra lé lọ́wọ́ wọn ní kọ́kọ́rọ́. So some of these people were there. So it was beautiful. Adelo. But fast forward. Kábíyèsí, after Atuntiwaje, he now started doing documentaries of different Yoruba Orisha, Ṣàngó, Òṣòṣì, Ọbàtálá, they played in the palace even up until today. So he got the producer, Tonfeko Mashiseye then, was Uncle Tunde Alabi Undeyin, Dudu. So was filming these documentaries for him. But somehow he started describing the kind of voice he wanted. He described up until Alabi Undeyin was able to know that he was talking about Dr. Taylor. No, I had done this advert of Yinka Ayefele to chronicle gbogbo àwọn share from praise into worship. I did that, and it was famous. People would just find my voice. So he described, and so they contacted me, and I started voicing those scripts from KBC. So as we started voicing those documentaries, events, because he would send a speech and have us read it ahead, put it into voice, we put visuals. So if he gets there, instead of reading it, they'll just play it. He's a very intelligent person when it comes to television. He knows what he wants in production. Nítorí ọmọ television làwọn náà. His father worked with BCOS in Ibadan. So he grew up around television and production. So gradually he started saying, I want to meet that voiceover artist. Let him come over. So we never got the chance to meet. Àwọn kan tí wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe documentary on his life. Boshe Dagba, where he went to school. So he told those people again that this is the person, Timafeko voice. So people started looking for me in Lagos, and they said, okay, we are going to be going to Ile-Ife. We have a documentary to shoot with Kabiesi. And somehow I just showed up at his presence, and that is when I knew that there's a lot of spirituality, because on the stand-up comment, stay here. Oh, you are Dr. Taylor. We started talking, and instantly he absorbed me into his dynasty. And beyond production, he became friends with me, and he sent me back to school. He started tutoring me in the ways of life. He got very close to me and started being a life tutor. So today I call him a life tutor. He's a mentor to me, and I'm proud to say it everywhere that I think Adeyeye Ogunwusi Ooni of Ife Kabiyesi is the kindest human being I have met in my entire life. And meeting him showed me a different understanding of kindness. So I met him at my work. He liked what I do. He first of all appointed me the voice of the House of Oduduwa, which means that I used to do all the voiceovers for the House of Oduduwa. Then he elevated me to being his ambassador, and I had to move to the United States.
Ọjọ́ tí impromptu vanity tí wọ́n lọ tẹ́lọ̀ deliver nǹkan
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
fún ẹ̀gbọ́n wọn. Ṣáwọn wà ń bẹ̀ jọ.
Wọ́n wà ń bẹ̀. Now, the spirituality of that is that èmi ò dá wọn mọ̀, dọ̀là wọn máa ń fi mí ṣe pé you ọ̀rẹ́ mi náà, you came there, you didn't bother about me. He was there. Then he said when I came out and I was talking, in his mind he just made up, it said to himself that when I get elevated, I'm going to do something to elevate this guy.
Àwọn àdé sí lára àwọn tẹ́tí ẹ̀rù.
Àwọn kan lọ gbé kéèkì fún un, and wọ́n sọ pé ẹ̀yin ọ̀rọ̀ mi, you didn't even care about me. He was just probably standing with his shirt and his jeans there, and we didn't see him. So wọ́n sí lára wọn.
Ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn dàbí ọ̀rọ̀ story kan ní Bible tí wọ́n ní wọ́n wá ọba, so wọ́n kó gba àwọn ọmọ ilé Jésè jáde.
Jáde bẹ́ẹ̀.
Ó sì kó ẹnìkan kan wà tó ń da ẹran kan pé kò lè jẹ́ yẹn lẹ́nu. Ó jọ bẹ́ẹ̀.
In fact, he saw me. But I was a spectacle, though. But to tell you the truth, that day I didn't see him.
Àwọn ṣiṣẹ́ pẹ̀lú ẹ̀gbọ́n wọn.
Wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́ pẹ̀lú ẹ̀gbọ́n wọn gbà.
Okay.
That's it. So that's the story of how we met, mainly on the job, and we've been great friends since then. And he's been a supportive father.
All right. Moving on. Ẹ ti shoot music videos for a lot of people. But taba kọ́kọ́ mọ̀ nípa background yín, ibi tá ti bí yín, ilé tẹ́ ti wá, help láti lè understand better taba ń rí àwọn nǹkan tẹ́ ti ṣe. So you are a tailor, like Charles Taylor of Liberia. Taylor, orúkọ Taylor kì í ṣe orúkọ Yorùbá. So báwo ni Taylor ti ń ṣe jẹ́?
But àwọn Yorùbá tó ń jẹ́ Taylor pọ̀ díẹ̀ náà.
Mo gbà.
So it's obviously a colonial name. My grandfather, Reverend D.O. Taylor, was a missionary who was part of the people that brought in UMCA, United Missionary Church of Africa, see Nigeria. So he must have adopted the name Taylor. His grandfather, his own father, must have adopted the name Taylor somewhere, and I'm from the Ariyo family of Ikpoti Ekiti. Okay. So my immediate father is late John Abimbola Taylor, who incidentally was a television producer, director as well with NTA. Okay. So I also grew up in and around camera and production. So it is not surprising. The apple does not fall too far from the tree. So it is not surprising that I ended up in production. And coincidentally, I started out, with music video. Okay. Because that was simple for me. I had a lot of my friends who were musicians, and I could experiment with their videos first of all.
Are you a Lagos born or a Portuguese born?
I was born in Ilesha, actually.
Okay.
I was born in Ilesha. I never remembered my staying in Ilesha, but I was raised in Ilorin all my life, actually. So I'm a typical Ilorin boy. It
was cool.
Ilorin so say. Ilorin so say. My nursery school was in Ilorin, not Chapel Nursery and Primary School in the GRA Ilorin. My secondary school was Cherubim and Seraphim College, Saboki Ilorin. Okay. I went through. I did my A levels at the Kwara State Polytechnic. Then I went through the University of Ilorin as well, before I branched out of Ilorin. But all my growing up days was in Ilorin before I moved to Lagos.
Kini Ilorin add money.
Yorùbá tí mo sọ nífa sọ̀rọ̀ pé Yorùbá ni à ń sọ ńlọrin. Nígbà mo dé kò ń bá ń sọ Yorùbá àwọn èèyàn mọ̀ ní Yorùbá rẹ̀ Yorùbá bàdà bí tọ́ ìyọ́lélé ìlú òkè. Àmọ́ Ìlọrin Ọ̀yọ́ ni à ń sọ ń bẹ. Kódà àwọn ọ̀gbá Hausa ńlọrin. Àmọ́ Yorùbá tí mo ń sọ yìí Ìlọrin mo ti gbọ́. Bí n bá ti fi fá bí n bá ti fi fá sí àwọn èèyàn mọ̀ pé Ìlọrin nù. Àmọ́ bí n bá ti fi fá sí bàbá kan sọ lọ báyìí. Ó sì ń jọ bí ìjà ìtọ́yọ́ ni. Ọ̀yọ́ ló sì ń sọ ńlọrin.
Okay, so the language.
Ilorin gave me the language. Then again, the English too. I got to Lagos before I could speak Pidgin English.
Okay.
Oh, strange. They tell me time. I said, "Where they go? They come. I want to go carry." I mean, go me only saw
up to now.
I don't sabi small now.
Up to now, me only saw.
You get it. So Ilorin, you're either speaking straight Queen's English, or you're speaking Yoruba. Depending on where you grew up, though, but of course, nursery school, my mom was a teacher, so you are either speaking, my upbringing, you are either speaking Queen's English or you are speaking straight Yoruba. Okay. No in between. Okay. Yeah, so Ilorin gave me the language. And I love that.
So waiting there, put it down. Waiting
there. Where you dey go?
Waiting kegbe.
One more put in the corridor because mo ti breathe.
Waiting dey happen.
Waiting dey. But I learned it on the job. I like it.
So ngba te deko. Kile koko she koko wa she company ni abi.
Company ke.
Then yeah, well deko.
I finished in the university year 2000. I came to Lagos immediately. Although I did my youth service in Jos. Bimoshe, let me start from youth service. Bimoshe work camp to Mugbiba where I'm about to register to Mulam to Musarabai. And to register, I said, put him in OBS. Mokolo OBS, Shemosheni, where OBS, where I already call Lord Timon, but orientation broadcasting service. So it doesn't sound strange to me when I talk and people say, oh, you have a broadcast voice. It's been like that since I left school. So one for me is the broadcasting service. Maybe I did a lot of radio work on camp. Escape and bear and so automatically they sent me to NTA. Okay. So I was with NTA Jos. Then after like 6 months, kudos to one of my ogas, John Danusa. He was the director. He was directing a play in Jos then. One man, she all those Nigerian soap operas. The man will maybe Mirror in the Sun, Crucible, and the rest. Jos, not the man, shoot most of it. Because there's a Nigerian production, NTA TV camp, college there, Nigerian Film Institute, then the TV camp there. So a guy can request for me that he wanted me to work on that project. So automatically as a cop, I had a second engagement with NTA, which I knew was going to go beyond my NYSC. So I stayed in Jos for about 2 years. Baba mutum daga Jos so saying if Baba like Jos.
Oh, okay.
Say Baba mutum daga Jos. In Nigerian Hausa kadan.
So Hausa Baba mutum is big man.
Big man Hausa guy, but yeah. So I had a good experience with the Nigerian Film Institute in Jos while I was there. So much film knowledge there. I'd always had my interest in production.
Okay.
More while I was studying history at the University of Ilorin. In fact, I wrote my project on films in Nigeria. So to allow me to go and talk to a lot of filmmakers. history. I got a BA in history.
Okay.
But I'd always, my man, twist history is a film, anything film. They were interested in the film, even in that history. So I stayed in Jos for about 2 years. They brought all of us to NCA Lagos when we finished that production. But while I was in NCA Lagos, there was no new production. So mo lè ṣọjọ́ mẹ́rin nígbà mi ò ní lọ bíṣẹ́. Mo kàn fèsì èbúté mẹ́ta ni pẹ̀lú Saheed Balogun. Ìgbà yẹn he was also a tutoring boy I already known him from Ilorin because he was with the Kwara State Cultural Council.
As a staff.
Art Council. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was working there. Yes.
Okay.
Then he relocated to Lagos. So his friend, Father U-turn.
Okay.
To come and pursue a career. So I had known him. So I started going to Odunfa. With him. But while I was growing up, Oga Bello was my dad's very good friend, daddy being television producer. Okay. So mo ń shuttle between Odunfa and Atitebi. Oga Bello ń gbé Atitebi Èbúté Mẹ́ta.
Okay.
Àwọn
olúwa l'Odunfa, àwọn Yinka Quadri.
Àwọn Yinka Quadri Ogogo ló wà l'Odunfa. Then àwọn the Bello camp, they were in Atitebi. So I was actually living in Oga Bello's house. Okay. Bí wà tí daddy mi after service. So I'm actually an Awada Keri boy. I followed daddy everywhere. I was like daddy's PA. So all the rehearsals went Tuesdays and Fridays. We were at National Theatre. But Alasun was our dance coordinator. Alasun Ray, you and me. So that period I got the chance to meet a lot of actors. Then story writing was beginning to blossom. Yoruba film was starting to blossom. So Saheed Balogun, I started writing scripts for him. He already knew that I was fresh from school. He knew I had interest in film. I had some knowledge in film. But, of course, the big dogs don't know you. They don't care who you are. So, but he allowed me to start writing the scripts, start co-directing some things with him, But while I was not doing those script writing, I'm at my law badon from Wemimo Film Productions. While Saheed is filming, I'll tag along with him. He'll be telling me his story. I'm writing and scripting. Then we wanted to make a film called Jeon Soke.
Oh, why not you film it?
I wrote it. Then I wanted us to shoot inside a co-FM. I shoot in an actual radio station than to do a make-believe. So I wrote a letter to Uncle Lekan Ogunbanwo. He was then the general manager at Radio Lagos. So Moalo Yojisu, he read the letter and he said, we want to shoot in the radio. So he just approved it. We're not worried. Then Uncle Lekan Wabe, what did you do? Money, I'm a script writer and a film director trying to learn. He said, you make a good broadcaster with your voice. Why don't you go into television? So I said, okay, fine, sir. And he just got his card and he scribbled behind it. Said, go to Galaxy TV. I think Uncle Steve will like you. And I started working on Galaxy TV that day.
That's him?
Yes. I never went back to Saheed Balogun in Ibadan. I just became a television presenter. No, I didn't go back to Ibadan, but when we shot, I was there with them while they were filming. But after that one, I was living in his house. I was living inside Balogun's house in Ikorodu, actually. Okay. So we shot to Lobby Share, and I started working with Galaxy TV. Or maybe Tenima Swan Iboni. I was with Galaxy only about 9 months or 10 months.
Okay.
Interesting story. I was shooting music videos for some of my friends. I was shooting music videos, directing for some of my friends. Assisting, because they know me, they know what I can do. But I couldn't put my name.
Why?
Galaxy, yeah. Come and feel equipment and one.
Equipment on
Come and feel equipment on. Apparently, we were working with a guy then called Muri ẹja ló ní bú tó ní fish, on little fish.
Little fish,
So
yeah.
he had a lot of equipment, and so we didn't need to use Galaxy's equipment.
Ṣé máa lọ rent lọ́dọ̀?
No, little fish. You know, I was practically signed on working alongside with them. Them Earthquake at the Little Fish. They were signed on there, so I was like their paddy, who was doing videos with them. So while I was working with Galaxy, Egbodewale Ayuba just called the Earthquake. We are director Oluman ṣiṣẹ́ pẹ̀lú yín nǹkan kan. Àwọn yẹn convention room coming. We want Dotun Taylor ní. One year, ẹ wá sílé mi now. I want to shoot a video. So I can't forget, I was earning 18,000 naira then with Galaxy TV. So by the the Ayuba, he was playing his music loud in the house. We're listening to it. We are only LFA.
Sitting room, maybe.
Yeah. We only LFA. He was Ijo Fuji lani ebere mole kemara. So I liked the music. I liked the way it's going. I was not into it. So he said the combination of me and my friends, Earthquake, we should tag up together.
Àwọn méjèèjì àbí?
Yeah, Adex at the SK.
Okay.
So we should tag up together and direct the video for him. He wanted, but I want to be Gen Z, man. We were the younger generation. We wanted that feel, you know. And we liked it, and we decided to go ahead. So one course offered me, what would be the budget to tell my need? Over the head, I said, well, maybe about 1.6 million or something. And when I think he just brought the cash, half of it. We are going to shoot next week. Or we will America or they go to the barrier. Be me Galaxy.
Galaxy. 900,000.
Yes. Maybe it's about 18,000. I'm great friends with Chief Ojo today. He's a fantastic mentor. He's a wonderful teacher, actually. Within the short period I was with him, I learned a lot. We can Bon Galaxy, we can set up Aruba film.
Resign it.
Káàdì tí mo mú lọ bẹ̀ náà ọjọ́ tí mo mú káàdì lọ ni mi ò ṣe interview náà tẹ́lẹ̀ iṣẹ́ tí ò bá dẹ̀ ti láfẹ̀yìntì kò iṣẹ́ tí ò bá ti lówó oṣù kò lè láfẹ̀yìntì. Well, I was a bit rascally then, younger. But I set up Aruba film production, and I saw it as an opportunity for me to just branch out and
so was that the first popular music video there?
Yeah, I wouldn't say Twin X.
Okay.
Miliki Ewa gbo melody, mo tún gbé melody mi dé. They did that Ebenezer Obey song. I shot that video.
On Twin X. But one thing.
Yeah, they're around. They're doing well at moment. One of them goes in and out of the United States too. ITA, Information Tech. They're doing very well. They're still my friends.
Okay.
I'm Ansor. You know, and so I'd shot that, and mo ti lọ sí nightclub tó ń bá ń ṣe kinní kan gbà ẹ̀ wọ́n pè ní Karamba night dance ìmọ̀ àtàwọn ọ̀rẹ́ mi. Mo ti wá rí ọmọbìnrin tó ń jó. Excuse me. Oh, she be Indian. Oh, she was very intentional about her style of dance. And I approached her that you perform at clubs. Only yes. Money, do you do music videos? She said she's shy. That she's done something with Rugged Man on stage before. But Money, look, music video is good for you. Stage is fantastic. But Nkote Mirino is you have expression on your face when you are dancing. So allow me do close up of your face. I just exchange Agba number. Kila Ayuba ni kì í ṣe video by Pap Moko contact. What's this girl's name? Kafi, the same Kafi dancer.
The same Kafi?
Yeah, she choreographed to Joe Fuji. Egbodewale Alawa, I told him stylishly, your dance, nice, so but it might be monotonous. But let us create a thing energetic for you. And he allowed us to make Kafi day. He allowed the whole choreograph, you know, and look at what Kafi has become today. And we thank God for such experience. So I got Kafi. So Ijo Fuji was like the first major video that got me out and people knew me. But tradition. I only wanted, yeah.
Ijo Fuji,
Yeah.
did you eventually do it with Ice K and the Adepts?
The first part, there are two parts to it. There's the Ijo Fuji lárinrin ẹ̀bẹ̀rẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀kẹ́ mara. Then there's the second part. Ẹ wá gbé náà wọ́wọ́ mi èmi kọ́ mo gbé tọrọ. Then tó ti ṣe Momo Dixon. That second part here, I did the video entirely alone.
That's Egbena Owomi.
Yeah, Ẹgbẹ́ náà wọ́wọ́ mi.
Then Momo Dixon.
Dixon, yeah.
Okay.
We shot it on Christmas Day. There's this Maryland, there's a club in Maryland. There was a club, Dotun Taylor show, right? Ayuba Taylor show on a Christmas Day last shooting. And so there are two parts. The first part, Emi at an earthquake. Then the second part, I did it alone. Then after that, I started getting
Gigs.
video gigs from people, but I registered my company Aroba Groove. There's a reason. I was trying to introduce myself to say, Bomodio Babaton Abaroba, that I'm a historian. I'm interested in Yoruba culture. So Ọlọ́run gbà fún mi gbà yẹn in a way that I was able to reject anything that was not promoting the Yoruba language, or the African culture at least. So I would brag that I didn't want to touch the basic hip hop of those days, even though they were my friends, the Rugged Man, the Tony Tetuilas. I was hanging out with them. We were going out partying, but I was holding on to the hands of the people like Pasuma. I shot videos of Pasuma. I shot Buga, just a King Buga, all of the songs.
Mommy O.
Buki Ajayi, and Yungba, Ile Aye Idun. Yeah. So I was excited to be doing strictly and only songs that it was Yoruba or maybe Igbo too. I did the first video for Washimeji, but I did the first one. Thought in Geshimbai, thought around horses. Igwe, go so babire, go see babire. Midnight Crew. Yeah, Mike Abdul had the crew. So I shot music videos for Saheed Osupa. African Delight. Emi guy that's Darisaka. We work together as a team sometimes. African Delight, Scores. Scores 1 and 2 for Saheed Osupa. Then Pasuma, I did Importer and Exporter. The video Importer and Exporter. Right Guy. He did the song Right Guy with the earthquake. I shot that video as well. So Asindemade, I was doing a lot of videos for Awalakpala. I Yariki, Ayoewebi. I did some videos for her too. So a couple of videos like that. And Moni Spirits Tomantete, I lose interest in things easily. So I can proudly tell you that some of these things that I say I do, I'll do them for a while to perfection, then I retire quickly from it, and you might just see me, I will never touch them again.
So it happened with music videos?
Yeah, I just stopped doing music videos.
Okay.
I just pulled away.
What's the reason?
I have the mantra that iṣẹ́ tá bá ń ṣe tá bá ń kọ́ àwọn èèyàn, then you must be ready to evolve into something else, or else àwọn tó kọ́ yẹn wọ́n máa di ọ̀tá ẹ̀. Because what do you want them to do if you are still in the business? And I think it is my own springboard in life to want to go higher and higher and higher. To man share music video directing, all the boys that I've trained to direct videos should be able to be making those videos today and not, they shouldn't be competing with me.
But industry ain't fair, no? Early exhausted.
That's no, obviously not. But this is where it matters. You get to a point where you become turgid. There'll be new ideas. It's no matter how large the industry is, There'll be new people who know new things. They experiment with greater things. Their ears, their sight, their perception will be different from yours, right? So go into higher places where you have been prepared to occupy.
ṣé kò kí n ṣe pé àwọn new people they were intimidating out of business.
I was almost going to quickly say yes, but except for the intimidation, that's if you don't have any other thing to do. But candidly, I went on to do greater things, and I'm comfortable with that.
Ta ló kọ any music video?
I wouldn't to call me. Most these days, from the time of my generation, a lot of things are self-taught. Creativity for me is inborn. On the walls of my house, most of the paintings there look like professional masterpieces from any great artist around the world, but they are my paintings.
So it's one painting.
I make fantastic artworks. I don't sing off key. I have a band, and so I grew up knowing that I could morph into anything as long as it is arts at any time. I know that tí mo bá try àti ṣe film tí wọ́n bá gbà mí láyé ń bẹ̀ máa ṣe painting, tí wọ́n bá gbà mí láyé painting máa lọ máa ṣe radio, and that's actually the way I operate.
Okay.
I just believe that I have a message for the world, and I'll pass my message regardless. So if I don't have a camera, I'll speak to the microphone. If I don't have a microphone, I'll write a book. You get it? So that's just what I do.
Get the canvas.
I paint it out. Yes, exactly. And Boba and Shemi at any time, that's the way I handle it.
Our music video directors wọlé bá nígbà tí ẹ̀yin bẹ̀rẹ̀.
I was inspired by Tunde Alabi Undeyin because he was working Dudu Productions. He was working doing the artists that I later came to work with, you know, the Ayubas and the rest of the Chino Peters. And I watched his videos a lot. But there were a lot of them. Alaji Bello, when he was making some videos then. You know,
Alaji
Bello. That's what we call him.
Okay.
You know, and Uzodima Opochi.
Okay.
Uzodima Opochi was shooting videos while I was working with Galaxy TV. So he did Face Me, I Face You. You know, and I like the Sonny Neji video. I'm a super Lagbaja fan, so I watched his style as well. You get it? So it was almost immediate. Then, of course, Aki Alabi was like a contemporary. But Aki was doing a lot of all the Timayas, all the hip-hop videos that I thought I didn't want to do.
DJ Tingo.
Oh, DJ T was shooting videos then as well. And he was doing very great hip-hop videos as well. So yes, around that period, DJ T was also making videos.
Now, aside from Pasuma, Saheed Osupa, Adewale Ayuba, Fuji artists, share any juju?
Yeah, a lot. Jide Cod.
Okay.
I shot Jide Cod's Ojú tó ṣe sí mi mo ti mọ̀rọ̀ tó fẹ́ sọ. Ojú tó ṣe sí mi, yeah. Nígbà tí mo wà lọ́mọdé kò sẹ́ni torí mi. Yeah, I did that video. And I did Yinka Best. I did a music video for Yinka Best as well. I did Mega 99. Ọ̀nà àrà o lómi ń bá wọnú àgbọ̀n yé olóhùn afọ̀nà àrà gbé mi ga òun afọ̀nà àrà lànà fún mi. That's one musician I respect a lot. Mega 99. He's a great guy. He's my friend. So I did for Mega 99 as well. I did Yinka Ayefele. I did his album tí fọ̀rọ̀ mi ṣe yanu fojú tẹ́lẹ̀ gan yé o fọ̀rọ̀ mi ṣe yanu fojú tẹ́lẹ̀ gan yé o Ìgbàgbọ́ mi dúró àfojú tẹ́lẹ̀ gan. Lọ́dọ̀ rere, ọ̀rẹ́kọ̀ mi ti tó. Signs ọ̀rọ̀ mi káyé rí o. That's actually, I think that's like the last music video that I did. I shot that video crying.
Why?
It was I think I was at the lowest of my emotions then. And that song was the song that I used to springboard myself back into life.
Kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ sí ìgbà yẹn? Then roll pẹ̀lú àwọn the celebs,
Big boys,
and
you
then,
know.
and then quality videos, and the money was even coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah, what things you was on.
No, it wasn't about money.
So what was it about?
Maybe I just needed to reconnect with my mind. Maybe I was just I believe for every person in life, you get to a point where you call the midlife crisis. Okay. So if you experience your midlife crisis, I say to my friends and people that care that there are only two options. It's either it swallows you or you surmount it. So by the time you surmount it, I believe that you've made it. So maybe I was going through my midlife crisis then.
Were you married at that time?
When I made that song, I was cohabiting, and I had someone who had children from two girls, but we were not married. Okay. And I knew I wasn't in my space. I felt like I wasn't in my space. So I was struggling with, do I move on or do I just stay there? One of my favorite songs growing up, I decided to borrow the philosophy. It says, if you pass through hell, don't hold it. If you're going through hell, don't stop. So if you think it's hell, then don't just hold it. There's no reason to hold it. No. So I decided not to stop. So that's it.
Tani Steve Taylor.
Steve is my other brother, my immediate other brother. We do exactly the same things. He's a music video director as well. He's a film director as well. And he's also a voiceover artist.
Okay.
I can tell you truly that I could get a job for voiceover and send a script to him and give it to the clients, and they would never know I'm not the one.
The same
we
voice.
Sound alike. We sound like, we sound almost alike. I can tell that. Sometimes I'm anything about Joran, but even when I hear him talking, I know that his voice is close to me.
But the physical attributes in Luju Shejora.
Yeah, we look alike too.
Okay.
We look alike.
And you never trained under him?
No, in fact, I think we are too alike that we were not friends until much later in life. We were not friends until much later in life. So no. If trained under him, I would now. So most of my formative years we were together. So obviously he must have influenced. He influenced my literary creativity because he likes to read books a lot. I'm a lazy reader, but because he likes to read books, so Tobata Kankoko and is talking to me about it, it inspires me to want to read them. So yeah, I wouldn't say I trained under him, but he must have inspired me. We went through the same university, but when we started our professional life, we both went different ways.
Now, I want when you're in university. Now I want to age or maybe later in life they started doing such things that you were doing.
I was a very quiet person in the university, and I did not even show signs that I was artistically inclined.
Okay.
I was quiet. I didn't do anything with radio, television until I left university. In fact, most of the people at the university, when they see my artworks today or my productions, it surprises them because they probably didn't know that I was going to end up like that. Show the real interest in arts until I left school. Okay. So that's it.
Now, but let's morph see movies. from, and all the while, music videos, she movies, rara.
But I'd written a lot of scripts.
Okay.
I have movie scripts. I knew I wanted to shoot films. I knew that I wanted to go into films. I just didn't have money. So I saw music video as an avenue for me to make money to shoot my film. And that was what happened. So I waited until about 2007. I left Galaxy 2003. So between 2003 and 2007, I was shooting a lot of music videos. And I started doing voiceovers for Yoruba films. You know, all those, a blend of, Sunday Daboru, kìíní òun ṣẹlẹ̀ ládùúgbò wọn, wọ́n sọ pé kìíní kan báyìí in the mind of man. Man is about to change the game. Featuring Odunlade Adekola, Toyin Aimakoga. Grab your copy now. Mo ti ṣe ìyẹn á tó 1 million.
That was after music videos.
While I was doing music videos, I was doing voiceovers. You know, my friend, Jide Legend Productions, great guy. I co-wrote a script for our Kafidipe, Kabira. She's my friend at Egboin. So, Aisha. Oga.
Okay.
Oga. That's the title, Chameleon.
Movie, could say, worry online, read anywhere. Talo ni movie,
Kafidipes.
Okay.
With Legend, though. Legend sponsored it, I think. Legend Pictures. So then I told, but fresh from university, want to share film called Odudua. I want Ojojolu Brothers.
Yeah.
So it was a big project. We were looking for Jimmy Sholanke. Jimmy Sholanke. I was looking for the opportunity to meet Baba Jimmy Sholanke. So we selected him as the narrative voiceover on Odudua. We wanted to bring him to Kling Studio in Surulere to come and record. Bari Baba Jimmy Sholanke. Want.
Yeah, the one fair.
Asha, maybe we're asking the wrong people.
Yeah, the one road 7.
Later, let me mob. Later, let me mob. But interestingly, Bolon Shema Shenko any. I want a lot of Klings. Klings, so what so far would you look? You said you are looking for. Wait, you Jimmy Sholanke. You don't know that this guy here sounds exactly like Jimmy Sholanke. Let him voice this thing. But when we were studying here, Oduduwa's children traveled a great distance from Atewa, but voice that we have been looking for. So that was in the year 2000, just fresh from the university. So to the bring back our show, cinema in studio. Voice Jimmy Sholanke, voice Jimmy Sholanke. I was hearing people say that, you know, and I was glad, I was happy that is my voice. Yeah. So they had to for me confidence.
Only rate.
But my free voice over Ijeon back there. You know. So Jide Legend allowed me to do the voice for Oga because of my friends. Kidashi Oga. See why every other producer will say that's the voice. They thought that, in fact, they were linking the voice to good films. And the truth is that initially, with my friends that make good movies, I would voice their films. But when Naira pushed me out, some of those films, they would send me the preview copy to watch so that I would do this. Timothy, I want to know Timothy got title. You need láti wo kan. Ma ko wa òwe Yorùbá méjì kan tó jọmọ́ title yẹn. I explain here in English with another 2 phrases. Featuring Chirika Kirika.
Who then jello?
Oh.
Because movie made a left whoa.
You know. So I was able to put some money together. So I decided to shoot my own film in 2007. Egberun Miley.
Okay.
And thank God the film did well. It was a super success. And introduced me into the film world as a movie director.
Not as an actor?
No. Although I played a cameo role in Egberun Miley, there's a film director, Tori script kan he to all saw the film.
Okay.
But script yẹn ò parí. So kò mọ̀ parí ẹ̀, òun kàn parí ẹ̀ bó ṣe wù. So ẹni tó wá kọ story life yẹn wá wọ fíìmù yẹn wá pè wálé ẹ̀ pé jókòó ṣé wọ́n ló ṣe fíìmù wọ́n jọ wò nígbà tó wá parí pé kí ló dé tí wọ́n ṣe wá parí ẹ̀ báyìí. So that director, I played the director because it's about me and I directed it. So, but not as an actor. I never wanted to be an actor. Most of my friends know. I like backstage. Nǹkan tó bá mi dé radio náà nìyẹn. I compared television and radio. I prefer radio any day. I like people hearing my voice and having an opinion about what I might look like. So, and that's the way I like to direct. I like to tell a story without necessarily acting the story. But unfortunately, I see that I'm always drawn somehow still into acting, either by myself or other people that are working with me. I directed Ibambajo for Bukala Aweyemi.
Okay.
And interestingly, I played a little role in it too. I acted in it as well. So, but I'm more of a director than an actor. So, because I have stories to tell and I'm a historian, that took me to radio. But
láti ṣe àrọ́bá.
yeah, then Aroba Njay Womo. Did you know? Yeah, sure. And all I was doing was telling history stories every Sunday. Deep things that have happened to us as Yoruba people. And I enjoyed the fact then I used to tell people that kani mi ò ṣe gbogbo iṣẹ́ tá à ń sọ yìí máa wà ní Federal Government College I'll be teaching history. I just like to teach. I just have a message. So on Sundays then when I'm going to radio, I look at it like I'm going to talk to a class of about 10 million Lagosians. I want to go and lecture them about something in history and make it entertaining by playing some music and the delivery style. So I sneaked in as a history lecturer on radio who was delivering it in an entertaining manner.
Okay.
And that's just exactly what I am. You see, when I'm even making a film, I am just a historian delivering a history lecture, but using entertainment as a tool to reach your mind.
All right. So talking movies now. How many movies mélòó lẹ bá wọn yàn ṣe yàtọ̀ sí tiyín gangan? Ṣó pọ̀ ni àbí tiyín lẹ
Kò pọ̀.
Ó pọ̀.
Kò pọ̀.
Okay.
I could be a very strong-headed, opinionative person. So, tó bá ti gbé story yẹn wá, tó bá ti jọ ìyá kú ọmọ dìde, yẹn kan fòrà ìṣògùn owó wà lọ lo ẹsẹ̀, ẹyẹ wá fò jáde ńgbà tí babaláwo sọ pé you can't get my attention. And so, your script must align with my message. So, how do you find too many people after I want your running papa? So there are a few people like that. For instance, Bukola Aweyemi wanted me to direct her film because I think she's from the Tunde Kelani School of acting, and I'm a Tunde Kelani protege too. Because I go to his office all the time, and Baba is always ready to teach. And whatever you ask him is a tutor. You get it? So I think Bukola just felt like I was Omotunde. She would have preferred Baba to direct her film, but maybe she couldn't get him or he was busy then. So she opted that Dotun Taylor shoot and direct a film. I also shot and directed the film Voiceless Scream for Yinka Adewale. She's in Hollywood. She's a soldier today, actually, in LA. And just a couple of films. Emere is a short film I made, for the Autism Association of Nigeria. I'm slightly autistic.
Really?
Yeah. I did not speak until I was about 7 or 8 years old. I couldn't, not that I couldn't speak. I said I did not speak.
You did not speak? kò sí.
o tí ọmọ tán náà rí kan lánàá sọ̀rọ̀ wọn pè wọn bóyá tó bá jẹ́ abúlé làwọn wá lé mèrè ni ọmọ yẹn yà ní mèrè ni ó kàn máa because I whisper into my mom's ears but I will not talk to any other person. I will not.
So ìyá mọ̀ pé ẹ lè sọ̀rọ̀.
Well, but wá fẹ́ káwọn èèyàn mọ̀ pé mo lè sọ̀rọ̀.
So anybody ò dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé ẹ lè sọ̀rọ̀.
Yeah, so until I was ready to speak, So
autism, yeah.
Spectrum, sha. It's a spectrum. Autism is a spectrum, different levels. Some are in level 8, 9, 10. So it must be a very low spectrum, Ṣé ọmọ tó normal máa kan ládẹ̀dákẹ́ kò dẹ̀ ní sọ̀rọ̀ tó dẹ̀ lè sọ̀rọ̀.
IHOD.
So it's a spectrum though. But that's another side of my story.
But by age 7, when you decided to
Mi ò
speak,
dákẹ́ mọ́. That's what my mom would say. Ọjọ́ tó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ so it's alright. Kò dákẹ́ mọ́. And now I speak for a living, so it's a beautiful story.
all right. So how many movies flying let's see?
About 4. Right now I just finished one, which I'm trying to put in the cinema. Take Me Home.
Okay.
So that
is ṣé mo lè pè é ní Hollywood standard or gbogbo
Hollywood ni mo wà nígbà tí mo yà, so maybe that would go.
létí ìyá gangan.
Yes. Hollywood, then a little part of it in Ile-Ife.
A little part, but most parts. Okay.
Most parts is in Hollywood. There's a story about nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ l'Amẹ́ríkà. Àwọn kan jí eégún wa, ara àwọn eégún wa tán jí gbé. Èèyàn kan wá lọ rà bí art. Ọmọ yẹn wá wọ ẹ̀kú. So ẹ̀kú yẹn wá ṣe nǹkan tó yẹ kó ṣe fọ́mọ yẹn. Wọ́n wá nídìí pé báwo la ṣe máa rìn, báwo la ṣe máa ṣe tí ọ̀rọ̀ wọn wá délé fẹ́.
Ṣé àwọn ẹ̀kú yẹn ṣé wọ́n ní agbára bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn lóòótọ́?
Ẹni tí ò it's not even a question. It's just like kan sọ pé ṣé tó máa ń ná ẹ̀ kòbókò ṣe máa ń dùn ẹ̀ ní tòótọ́.
Wọ́n mi káwọn nǹkan tẹ́ ń sọ ń sìn, wọ́n mi pé àwọn ẹ̀kú yẹn ní àwọn agbára tí wọ́n.
Yes.
Ṣé ìgbà pé agbára wà lẹ́yìn Yorùbá?
Agbára wà láyé. Agbára wà láyé.
Ṣé àwa gẹ́gẹ́ bí Yorùbá ṣá ní agbára tiwa?
Ṣé agbára wà láyé mo gbà, agbára dẹ̀ wà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. So, but I want to also quickly say that a lot of things are exaggerated. And gbogbo èèyàn ló mọ̀ ẹ́. So agbára wà láyé nígbà tá a bá ti lè mú ẹja nínú omi tó lè electrocute elephant pa. Tó bá fi síbi tó ẹja tó bá ti lè mú ẹja jáde nínú omi tí ṣe àwa la fi pamọ́ síbẹ̀ tá a dẹ̀ lè fi electrocute elephant tó dẹ̀ máa kú. So agbára wà láyé, ìmọ̀ dẹ̀ ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀tẹ́. Tí n bá rẹ bóyá question yẹn lélẹ̀, let me explain. Tí mo bá rẹ belt sínú nǹkan kan, call it anything but chemical kan anyway. Tí ìjà wá dé tí mo wá tú belt yẹn tí mo wé mọ́ ẹ lọ́rùn fáì tọ́nà tó ní wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní jí tó ń pọ̀tọ́. O mọ nú chemical tí mo ti rẹ belt yẹn sí, o dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé bóyá chemical yẹn ò gbọ́dọ̀ kan ẹ̀jẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n so agbára wà láyé. To answer your question, agbára dẹ̀ wà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Aṣojú àṣàlẹ̀ Oòduà ni mí. So yeah. So àmọ́ àfiràn mi láti máa sọ nǹkan tí á da ọpọlọ ènìyàn rú. Rather, àfiràn mi láti sọ nǹkan tá tó ọpọlọ ènìyàn.
Ṣé agbára wà ní àwọn ààfin wa nílẹ̀ Yorùbá àbí wọ́n exaggerate ẹ̀ ní kí bẹ́ ṣe ń try láti.
Ààfin káàkiri àgbáyé agbára wà.
Káàkiri àgbáyé.
Ààfin ibi tó wá ti jẹ́ ààfin. Kí n fi example kan ṣe. The kings and queens in Portugal, in Switzerland, in England. Ibi tí Queen of England di orí àpèrè ẹ̀ tó kú sí yẹn náà lọ́sìn sí. Ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ náà ti àwọn ìyálà ìyá ẹ̀ sí àtàwọn baba ńlá baba ẹ̀.
Níbi tí throne yẹn wà.
Inú ààfin yẹn náà ni. Nítorí náà ẹni tó ń jí tó ń sùn bẹ́ẹ̀rì ló ń sùn. Tó bá lọ sí Vatican, gbogbo skeleton all dead popes are preserved and kept underneath the Vatican there. So tó bá tí o bá kí n ṣe Vatican tí o bá kí n ṣe bí ẹ̀sìn kó mú mi lọ lé ẹ̀sìn kó wá ní jẹ́ kí n tiẹ̀ fi nǹkan hàn ẹ́ kó wá ṣí lẹ̀kùn kan ká wá fi staircase káàrin lọ sálẹ̀ kó wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní fi àwọn eegun òkú tó kó sínú glass case kó máa fi hàn mí pé eléyìí ni bàbá mi o eléyìí ni bàbá mi o bàbá ṣé tí máa lọ tán bẹ̀ kí ni màá pè é tí bá ti kó lé ẹ̀yẹ ṣé máa tún padà wá. So why I gave that example is that to everything there's structure and there's metaphysics. Ìmọ̀ dẹ̀ wà níbi tó yẹ kí ìmọ̀ wà. So ibi ní Vatican yẹn kò ní jọ pé wọ́n ń ṣe àìdá ṣùgbọ́n tó bá kàn déédéé ṣe sínú ilé ẹ̀ tó kó eegun òkú sísàlẹ̀ nínú ilé ẹ̀ tó bá ṣọ́ra gan ọlọ́pàá wá mú ẹ̀ pé kí ni òun fi eegun òkú ṣe.
wọ́n ló ń kọjú àwọn òkú pé abókù sọ̀rọ̀ ni.
So agbára wà káàkiri ààfin wọn kàn déédéé pé nǹkan kan ní ẹnu wá ẹnu ọwá ni ó dẹ̀ ní nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ ọwá so nítorí náà mo gbà pé àkàrà wà.
ṣebí àwọn ọwá Iléṣà ọwá Ìgbàjọ àwọn ní ọwá.
ẹnu ọwá náà ni ààfin Ilé-Ifẹ̀.
kí wàá ló ń jẹ
ẹnu ọwá ń bẹ ní gbogbo ààfin lẹ́nu wá ń bẹ. That's just the culture.
kí ló ń jẹ ẹnu wá.
Structure ni everything is sitting on the structure gbadun mo sọ nìyẹn pé and ìmọ̀ nǹkan tó lọ con school sí nǹkan kọ́ wa gbogbo ìmọ̀ the Western education is sitting on the allowance of the Vatican nǹkan tí Pope àti àwọn ìgbìmọ̀ ẹ̀ bá sọ pé wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ kọ́ ní school kankan ẹni tó bá ń kọ́ kò ní gbélé ayé ṣàlàyé so structure ni gbogbo physics tó kọ́ wa is based on nǹkan tó ń gbà wá láyè láti kọ́ any other thing outside that physics which exists àyè ò sí fún ní structure yìí.
so àwọn kankan wà tẹ̀ pé a lè discuss ẹ̀ freely by àfi tá a bá dé àwọn ìgbàlẹ̀ kan àbí ní àwọn ìjókòó àgbà kan.
ibi tán ti ń sọ ibi tó yẹ kó ti sọ what you are to discuss yes in the open
discussion. tó dẹ̀ ká sọ lálẹ́ àlesọ àgbọ̀dọ̀ fàárọ̀ sọ.
so structure níbẹ̀ ni.
ọ̀rọ̀ yín yé mi.
It's just like university náà ni wọ́n ní syllabus nǹkan tó fẹ́ kọ́ yín ni wọ́n ní lọ kọ́ yín ní ìmí outside.
ẹ já padà sórí syllabus program tí wọ́n bí.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
ẹ fi Nàìjíríà lẹ̀ ẹ travel kí ló dé tẹ́ ẹ lọ most people tí mo mọ̀ or kí n sọ pé most artists wọn ò rí reward fún ẹ̀bùn tí wọ́n ní. Wọ́n feel so frustrated pé àwọn kan ń ṣe àti a lot of interviews lórí ìtẹ́jú lórí káàkiri tí àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n wà ní àwọn Nigerians tí wọ́n wá tó ń travel tí wọ́n sọ ọ́ zù wọn tó dẹ̀ real but wọ́n láti sá lọ pé káyé wọn má bàa tà sí bíbáyìí ṣé story yẹn ṣó jọ ti yín.
ó jọ gàtè kò jọ gàtè ó fi méjèèjì tẹ̀lé ó jọ. Now, but it's a bit different, I'll tell you. Mo ti ń ṣe film lọ, mo ń ṣe radio. I was enjoying it actually. But the truth is, I wasn't making money. I wasn't fulfilled.
From movies, from
I wasn't music at the point. Money. Yeah. People will look, we are not disciplined people in Nigeria. I'm sorry. I say we. So Okobugwapo. Ìwọ ni ẹni àkọ́kọ́ náà in a long time tó máa sọ pé I'm not trying to flatter you being real tó máa ní màá dọ́dọ̀ yín ní 11 tó dẹ̀ pè mí nísàlẹ̀ ní 10:55 5 minutes to 11 pé a ti wà nísàlẹ̀. You see, time discipline is one of the first signs of success in life. Àwọn èèyàn kan wà tí wọn ò ní láyé jẹ́ kó waste just 5 minutes of their time because once you understand pé time gangan lówó. Olóńgbò àbámi ní 11 ó wá dé ní 2 ó ti bà yé mi jẹ́. Bó nǹkan tó yẹ kí n ṣe láàrin 11 sí 2 yẹn you have destroyed it. Ó dẹ̀ lè má ṣe é rí padà mọ́ láyé. bó ṣe kéré tó yẹn, any principled person cannot survive where that kind of lifestyle exists. So I got to an age where I told myself that I can't allow my time to be wasted again. I can't work for people who want to owe me money. Wale ni wa lọ́la, ẹ máa san lọ́tùnla. So I got tired. I also got tired of the fact that I was running a studio and whatever little money they give you to do voiceovers, ma lọ ra diesel àbí petrol, ma dà sínú generator. So ọjọ́ kan mo wá dúró studio mi, mo wo generator tó ń ṣe. And I told my friend pé ṣó mọ̀ pé èmi ni mo ń jóná lọ yẹn ṣá. Owó tó yẹ kí n fi tọ́jú ilé, kí n fi tọ́jú ara, kí n save, kí n fi dèèyàn. Màá kọ́kọ́ lọ ra epo. Màá sọ pé ṣé àwọn ẹgbẹ́ mi around the world tó ń ṣe irú iṣẹ́ yẹn, ṣé àwọn rọ epo sí generator láti máa sọ pé right about now you want to, mo kàn fẹ́ ṣe voice over, ìgbà tí máa edit epo. So I just got tired of wasting my time, and this is me being blunt. So, and that was part of when I said I was shooting Yinka's video, Egbon Yinka Ayefele, and I was at my lowest. But do I want to continue with this thing, or do I just want to escape? But again, at every point in my life, I am grateful to God with pé tí n bá ṣe ń rò, ó máa ń bá mi dá sí. So ìgbà yẹn ni mo ti wá ní bàbá yìí tí mo ti lọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ yìí tó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sọ pé I will make you an international ambassador to the Yorubas. I want you to represent me. He's a very intelligent person. He knows, with all due respect, he knows almost everything he's going to do for the rest of his life. So he started talking to me about becoming an ambassador and representing him around the world. Then I started an NGO called Roots and Heritage Renaissance. Roots and Heritage, Ìpìlẹ̀, Àrọ́bá, everything about that. So ẹgbẹ́ yìí máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní pọ̀ tá tó 600. I registered, ṣe inauguration and all that. Kábíyèsí Ooni of Ife is our grand patron. So I've always been interested in Yorubas in Brazil, the Yoruba culture in Venezuela, because of my history background. Biere, Baba come with me, I'm sending you to Brazil to go and represent us, do this, then I want to go fellow Brazil. So we went before him to like the party ahead. One moment, please. Nígbà tí mo ti lọ Brazil, tí mo dé biere, I told you that I wasn't married. Then I met this lady who we started dating. I found out she was American, and I had to relocate to the United States. So with the blessings of Kabiyesi and the fact that he had already said I would represent him, after getting married, I didn't shut down Aroba Groove because I still do a lot of projects on Aroba Groove. Just last year, Ashiyobi, the return of Tioluwanile on stage, and it was also very successful and beautiful. And since then, I moved to the United States. I registered my company in the United States called Ile Coco.
Okay.
So what we do with Ile Coco is I repatriate Afro-Americans who love to visit, not to stay permanently though. Some of them like to stay permanently, but for now, Afro-Americans that want to visit Ile-Ife, want to visit the Yoruba, because lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta yìí, we are so lucky. They call something ancestral DNA. So ó ti ṣeé ṣe láti lọ wo ẹ̀jẹ̀ ẹ̀sìn kó mọ̀ ń bo gangan làwọn lẹ́ti ṣẹ̀dálẹ̀ wá. So ìdajì gbogbo àwọn dúdú tó wà ní Americas wọ́n ti ń ṣe ancestral DNA, wọ́n ti ń rí pé 70% Yorùbá làwọn. So ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọn fẹ́ wálé kí n tiẹ̀ wá rí Èkó, kan wá rí Nàìjíríà, kan wá rí Ilé-Ifẹ̀. So Ọlọ́run gbà mí láyè láti máa kó wọn wá bẹ́ẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan. And I want to use this opportunity to tell Nigerians that Dirty December, time going, it's not a joke. Next December will explode.
Next December.
December, time boy, 2025, ó máa explode. Nigeria máa gbà àlejò Americans. Àwọn kan ti ń ránṣọ lẹ̀. Wọ́n ti ń connect lórí social media pẹ̀lú Nigerian tailors. Tán ti ń ránṣọ, tán ti ń ship aṣọ sí wọn, tán plan táwọn máa wọ̀ ní Nigeria. So ká dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ internet and social media, kò dàbí ayé ìgbà kan mọ́ táwọn kan máa tọ òyìnbó jẹ́ pé ọ̀bọ ló ń bẹ lórí igi láfíríkà. Wọ́n ní irọ́ ni òyìnbó gan ti rí sí that we are very glamorous people, we are educated, we sound well. Americans like òyìnbó Nigerians tá bá ń sọ, because British English la máa ń sọ. So nǹkan kan tí màá kàn sọ ni wípé mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run ọba Elédùmarè pé mo ṣe tí n bá ti ń rò ó máa ń bá mi tọ̀ díẹ̀díẹ̀. So but today I still make films.
Okay.
Voice over ni mi ò ṣe mọ́.
Why?
I retired.
I
retired.
Kẹ̀ṣẹ̀ máa sọ pé o ti jáde o sinimá kìíní kan.
Tálíkì èlò lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ sọ.
Délé òtúlé.
Ní Adéyẹyẹ nìkan ni mo máa ń ṣe voice over fún sí. If I have to do a voice over, I do it for the House of Oduduwa.
But tí àwọn tán.
And my friends, mo ṣiṣẹ́ fún Fẹ́mi Adébáyọ̀ recently, so it's not like and my friends, I could voice for
Fẹ́mi Adébáyọ̀ ṣe movie ni.
Seven doors, yeah. Okay. I did adverts. I usually voice adverts for him. He's my very good friend and a few of my friends. You might still hear my voice tomorrow and if you're my friend, we could do it.
Okay. Recently, okay, imagine lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ láàrin bàbá Túndé Kèlání àti bàbá Karim Adépọ̀jù Báwándé, wọ́n ní issue kan at a time wọ́n fẹ́ máa di antaun síra lórí ọ̀rọ̀ royalty nípa tí Olúwa ní ilẹ̀. Now you made a move nígbà Àṣeyọbí. Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Then what informed your that settlement? And what informed Àṣeyọbí?
Ọ̀rẹ́ bàbá mi làwọn méjì. Baba Wande was closer to him. Baba wà l'Óṣogbo, daddy mi wà l'Ìlọrin. So Baba Wande was always coming to Ìlọrin. In fact, there's a comic story pé ìgbà kan wọ́n jí mọ́tò Baba Wande lọ l'Ìlọrin. Òun àti daddy mi lọ́jọ́ lọ jẹ àmàlà níbì kan. Baba Wande ń wo àmàlà ń bẹ lọ́wọ́ ìbáyìí lónìí ọkọ mi ni ẹ mọ̀ ń gbé lọ́hùn. Ọkọ mi ni ẹ ń gbé lọ́hùn JT. You know, so it's a joke. So that they were that close. So which means that nígbà tí gbogbo kọ́nu kọ́họ̀ yẹn náà wà after àtúnṣe tí Olúwa nílẹ̀ part 1. I had all the story. Baba Wande máa wà lé àmà sọ fún daddy mi today ṣe báyìí, today ṣe tán, today ṣe. You know, so as a kid, I really liked Baba Wande as an actor growing up. I had the opportunity to also go through Tunde Taylor's mentorship. So it just comes to me that as Aṣojú Àṣà Oòduà, it is my responsibility to create such a truce and kí ìjà ọjọ́ pípẹ́ ká parí ẹ̀.
So ìjà yẹn ti wà nílẹ̀ tipẹ́.
Over 30 years. Láti ìgbà tó ti ṣe tí Olúwa nílẹ̀, I think that was part 1.
Part 2 yẹn ńkọ́?
Ìjà wà, wọ́n kàn máa lè jọ ṣe ni.
Okay.
You know. And ìjà àgbàlagbà náà wọ́n yẹ̀ṣẹ́ síra wọn kiri. It's just that, you know, interviews here and there, people would say something, stand with your mama. So, and the mantra of my Baba in Ile-Ife, everybody knows, is that he's a peacemaker. Well, so we have an opportunity to create truth, that's where we go. And they are both Yoruba people who deserve to be celebrated. So, apart from the fact that I wanted to be the executive producer to Àṣeyọbí, which is taking its story out of the old to Oluwanile, it is a friendship that I had always longed to see we could come back. So as with my position as the Asuju Asha, I spoke with Oni, and Oni ṣe lẹ́tà àwọn dẹ̀ gbé àwọn èèyàn dìde pé ká lọ gbé àgbò fáwọn méjì ká dẹ̀ sọ pé káwọn má tún gbọ́mọ. And adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run, both of them were excited, were happy on that day. Wọ́n ṣàdúrà, wọ́n dẹ̀ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run that kì í ṣe pé kankan nu wọ́n ti kú kó tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ronú nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀. So it's just an added advantage that out of that I was now able to create a story. And ọjọ́ tá à ń ṣe àṣeyọbí ìfilọ́lẹ̀ táwọn wò, bàbá wa ní act tí kì í jókòó wọn bá wa wò, inú wọn dẹ̀ dùn gan. And just on this note, I would say that Ọlọ́run á máa bá wa ṣe àmì sí gbogbo èrò tó bá ti jẹ́ dáadáa nínú ọkàn wa pa fẹ́ ṣe. Because I mean, Giant wà nílẹ̀ tipẹ́, and I've always known tipẹ́ more than 20 years that I want to bring them back together. So mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run pé God preserved all of us and gave the chance for us to see that day.
Ta ló write Àṣeyọbí?
We employed a writer, Benga Olawale or something. He's the writer that we employed to write for Ayuba.
Okay.
You know, he writes for Ayuba actually, but with the inspiration of the story, Tiolu Anile.
Okay.
Yeah, but
So
a different writer. Almost all the characters, we recreated most of the characters that were there before. So Yani, JP knew, Ashiyan Gogo himself knew, all of them we recreated. But we did not use those old characters.
Okay.
What we did was that we deliberately selected the new kids on the block, or the Hussein, or the new characters. In fact, most of the social media actors actually, who turned out to be fantastic actors. But Aderupoko was deliberately retained for the Ọ̀gbẹ́ni tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ ní mortuary.
Kí ni role Babawande? New role.
Àṣeyọbí, he played the character Àṣeyọbí. The
The
devious man tí ó fẹ́ràn owó yẹn tó talẹ̀ òṣà.
Kí lẹ fún Ozzy?
Hussein was the one that played Sonya.
Okay.
Yeah. Àwọn tó talẹ̀ náà ni. So.
All right. The industry, movie industry, kí lẹ lè sọ nípa ẹ̀?
It's evolving, and right before us, new generation, something very wonderful is going to happen. It's already happening, But Tabaru Koboya Atiri, Nkokwa Atiri, we have not captured the international market well enough, which we will. Let me explain. You see, the thing that is happening to Afrobeat right now will happen to Nollywood. The way the whole world has accepted our music, because Dele Jack is suffering. I stand to argue it anywhere. Burna Boy is one of the biggest artists in the whole world.
Mo máa ń gbọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀,
Ní
but
gbogbo ayé, Burna Boy wà lára àwọn tó tóbi jù.
kí ni nǹkan tẹ́ rí?
The venues that these boys feel all over
That's
the world.
Burna Boy.
Yeah, Burna Boy. The venues that he feels to man sell out. Most international artists have not achieved it. And the branding that goes with his shows. I've gone to a lot of Burna Boy shows in the United States. Odidi County come out dàrú nítorí Burna Boy ń kọrin. Gbogbo t-shirts tó máa tà nínú store, gbogbo Doritos tó máa tà ní, everything will carry Burna Boy's picture. And that's the country where I live. Àwọn olórin ìlú wọn míì gan kò wọ́n halẹ̀ tó yẹn. So to talk about Nollywood, what is happening to Afrobeat right now will happen to Nollywood.
Even when Netflix has fled the country.
Fled. Yeah, other streaming platforms will be the ones to come and enjoy what Netflix has.
Why is Netflix filler?
Well, there are a lot of dynamics to it. The Nigerianism of the way we do everything. If I go too deep into it, I will be mentioning names and there wouldn't be any need. But I think what they said is very clear. They thought that Nigerians have not been sincere enough the way they handle film funding. That's one of the major reasons.
Check the funding lọ́dọ̀ wọn rí.
Èmi ò no. In fact, I always like my project to be self-funded. I like my project to be self-funded so that I can have the liberty to just tell the story the way I want it. I treat film like a lecture. So if I'm too liberal with the way I accept funds, then the content of my lecture will change. So, of course, Omanjeki as a producer, you might not be as openly loved by sponsors and all that, but it gives me peace of mind, and peace of mind looks package. So temporarily, yes, it might look like there's a bit of slowdown. Don't know. Our cinemas have increased, so the cinema experience is coming back wonderfully, and you can also see the numbers that producers with good films, they are racking up fantastic returns.
2 more questions. 2 more. And the first of those 2, do you see yourself coming back to music video directing? Do you miss any of those things you've done in the past? Especially when you see it done by other people, by younger people around this time.
I don't see myself returning mainstream into music video directing or even commercial film directing. I've always liked to do my own thing. Maybe if I do, I sing, I have a band. So if I sing a song, I might shoot my video, but I can't even have the time with my new line of business and profession. You get it? So I'm not part as a music video director. Kini Mwame, who will I direct it for really? And to tell you the truth, what will be the budget?
So it's about money for you.
Life is about money for me. In fact, I thought God has been kind to me. Why? There was a time I looked at him and I said that, you see, all this talent, I don't want it anymore. Just take it away and give me something else. Give me money.
Are you now rich, Shetilo?
I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable.
Since you go to America, Abi?
Yeah, I've been able to do my other kind of business and earn foreign exchange. So, yes, I am comfortable.
So is it true that America is a place where when you get there, the opportunities are there, then you become rich immediately? Because your story it's different from...
that's
it's just
not
one out of 20.
That's not the way it is. And if I say I'm comfortable, I'm not saying I'm rich, but I can afford most of what I need. And but this is it. America is truly the land of opportunities. That has been said long before I relocated. I then the obvious thing is that ìyàtọ̀ tó wà nínú náírà àti dọ́là kò ń ṣe kékeré.
Ó jìnnà.
So irun tó mọ̀ dì tán fún ẹ ní 1,000 naira. Tó bá débi tó ti ń dì tán ti ń fún ẹ ní $100 àbí $200. Obviously that you are going to make it better than where they're giving you 1,000 or 2,000 naira.
But
so the power of the dollar,
rent, transport àtàwọn nǹkan tó rọ̀ mọ́ oúnjẹ tó rà náà ó máa gbé lé $100. Abi?
Kole Dabi.
Ashiyonkole.
Okole Dabi. The economy in the United States is obviously better than what it obtains in Nigeria. And that's a fact available. So, nǹkan tó ń ṣe tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ tó bá continue láti mọ̀ ṣe tó dẹ̀ ń ṣe dáadáa, I bet you where you earn dollars, you might just be able to be more comfortable. You get? I'm not saying that you have to leave Nigeria to make it in life. But you see, this is what I always tell people. Ẹ̀dọ́bàjẹ́ Christian, Abraham bẹ̀rẹ̀ Ọlọ́run ó ní jọ ṣàánú mi Ọlọ́run ṣàánú mi Ọlọ́run ṣàánú mi Ọlọ́run wò kó dá lóhùn náà. But to pray something, you know what? I'm going to bless you, but you have to leave this place. You have to go somewhere else. When you get there, your blessing will be in. So I am a firm believer in the fact that wherever you are led by your own chi, by your spirit, by your destiny, by your ori, lobe, you will make it there. I've seen people while I was living in Lagos, I saw people who left us in Lagos and moved back to their father's village, and they are doing very well from there.
More than how they were doing
In Lagos, yeah. And they're doing very well more than they were doing in Lagos. So it is you don't have to move to America. If you go back to Ogbomoso, you better go back there and you're probably gonna be rich. So that's the way I see it though.
Okay. Kí ni opinion ní of Fẹ́mi Adébáyọ̀, Lateef Adédìméjì, and this generation of artists tó yẹ pé wọ́n ti take movie making above ibi tí àwọn aṣáájú wọn tí wọ́n kí ni opinion yìí?
If I'm going to be very blunt with you, in this day and age, don't venture into anything without first getting an education. Because all these people you mentioned right now, they're all graduates. Femi is a lawyer, So if you get an education, not necessarily have to be university education. There are different kinds of training. Don't just go into anything and assume that you can do it. You're just going to destroy the system because the system is moving forward. That's what you're saying. So all these people from Kakindele, Tonya Imaku, they are all graduates. So that is enough a fact to tell you that Temino Obama I want to be at par with them. I must get the training. You get it? So kolo ẹ̀yin mọ́ bíríbírí láyé ń yá ayé ò padà. Bọ́lá ẹni tí ò mọ̀ odò omi àgbè lọ. So ó ti di new game. Ó ti di new game. So and all those people you mentioned, years back, they are putting a lot of work into what we're seeing today. But Shuri, I know some of them don't even know how famous they are already around the world. With all the streaming platforms, with YouTube videos and all that, people can just click and watch them from anywhere. Àwọn dúdú lóyìnbó yẹn, wọ́n mọ movie wa tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n wo movie wa tó jẹ́ pé gbogbo skit wọ́n mọ̀ tó jẹ́ pé. So and it is a time where I can say I am super proud to be Nigerian. Nigerians are the brides of the world. If this is not going to be too, let me tell you, checking whisper.
Àwọn
òyìnbó like ọkùnrin Nigerian so Nigerian men, anywhere they go, tí dúdú bá gather by, tí Nigerian men méjì bá lára wọn tí àwọn yòókù jẹ́ other countries. Wọn ò fẹ́ bá àwọn other countries yẹn sọ̀rọ̀. They believe that there's not something about you Nigerian men. Ó ní nǹkan tẹ́ ń jẹ, bóyá ó ní nǹkan tẹ́ fi ń kàn wọ́n, I don't know. But even professionally at work, we are the best.
So beef no matter.
Oh, beef beef ti wà there. Yeah. Beef ti wà there because when they hear you're from Nigeria, they want to put you above every other person.
A ti gbọ́ nípa Professor Olutoye tí wọ́n ṣe surgery fún Futures.
Futures, yeah.
Lánàá àbíjẹta ni mo tún kà nípa wọn Okojo-Iweala tó ṣe one spinal surgery, the first in the history of mankind.
Yeah. Spinal cord surgery. Successfully, yeah.
So Nigerians are always there.
Yeah.
Not every time ni kàn máa sọ pé Nigerians and lead the bad flocks. No.
Even you see that narrative is even beginning to change. Àwa ò kàn tí ì fi conscience ni o ti fi some people like that narrative is changing. You get it? But the bad side, yes, is there obviously. But to tell you the truth, all over the world, Nigerians are the best of everything.
In Nollywood, most of 2 questions there, but in coming to pop up, are there gatekeepers?
There are gatekeepers everywhere. And yes, there are. I believe there are in Nollywood. I may not be able to mention names. I probably don't even know names. But I do know that I've had situations where some people would say, "You are not going anywhere. You are not going anywhere." Is that the kind of thing you mean? Oh yeah, sure. It happens everywhere in the world. There are gatekeepers. There are talk about look at them from the negative perspective. There are also those who are there there are gatekeepers who are moving the industry forward. If, for instance, Nollywood has to speak with the government right now, there are people it's not everybody that will show up at Aso Rock. So, but I do understand what you mean, that some people might create bottlenecks and think that Toba kin sharawa ole shinkoba. All right, what is me? You know, we said I do voiceovers, I direct and all that. I never joined associations because I've known for a long time that freedom of association, you don't have to be part of them. And telling my dear son, you know. So there was a time I wanted to direct Tonya Imaku's film titled Halimat. I think it was our first film ever. I directed it, and it was the first film ever that I directed too. And our association, the association she belongs to, then the directors, the association, said if I don't join the association, I won't direct it. And no, not of where I must direct about all the only music, NTP, you know. But the gatekeepers then were my fathers. The Jide Kosokos and the Bellows were my fathers, and they knew that they fought someone. So maybe I was lucky that the gatekeepers were not strict. They were not stringent to be strict with me, maybe, but I'd experienced that kind of thing before, and I know that some people are still experiencing it today. But so as long as you are not arrogant, whatever gates they are trying to keep, they're keeping it for good. So learn how to knock the door. Learn how to knock the gates. They will open it for you. So that's my position.
Ask and it shall be given.
Ask and it shall be given. Know how to ask. And you get it. So
Oloye Dotun. Kini àwọn other names?
Dotun Babatunde Alfred Taylor. That's my name.
Chief Dotun Babatunde Alfred Taylor. Ekuwalejowa.
Thank you very much. I feel honored.
Thank you so much, sir.
Wonderful talking to you.
My pleasure.
Esho.
Thank you.